How you do? Yes, we're back for another loot hunt video. This is the second part of the one that was released last week, where I was exploring and loot hunting in the coastal town of Ramsgate. So this episode we are back and we are exploring. I keep saying we. It's only me. There is only me here. The we is the channel, I'm guessing. But I am back and I continue my journey onto the very picturesque seaside resort town of Broadstairs, which is well known, as I say in a minute, for Charles Dickens, and he spent a lot of time there, and they love to tell you that he spent a lot of time there as well, as you'll see from the video. I'm really sorry there wasn't much of an opportunity to record in charity shops, so this actually turns out to be a little bit of a touristy video where you get to see the wonderful sights of Broadstairs and just how wet and wild it was on that day. So I'm going to leave you to watch what happened in Broadstairs, and I will see you in a minute. Welcome back to a 50p Movie Club loot hunt. This is the second part of a 3-part series, hopefully, and we have arrived in our next East Kent coastal town, which is Broadstairs, which those of you that are literature fans, if you've ever read the book Bleak House by Charles Dickens, this is the location of Bleak House, and if you're lucky, you might see some footage of it as I'm walking around. As I said in the last episode, I've decided to do this on the worst possible day weather-wise. Storm Alex has just hit. It's very windy, very wet. I'm already soaked from the previous one, as you can see, and I'm about to put my wet coat on, my wet hat back on, my wet mask back on, and head back out. I'm hoping this is going to be longer in terms of footage and better in terms of pickups than the last episode. But who knows? Who knows at this point? I don't know. I feel like the whole day is a bit of a washout. Boom. But we'll see. So I'm about to kit up and head out. And hopefully I'll show you some of the sights of Broadstairs while we're out and about. However, it is still hacking it down with rain. So largely depends on what I can handle. So see you soon. Bye. So we're done in Broadstairs. It was a massive bust in terms of footage inside charity shops because they're all really pokey and they're all really overstaffed and everybody has got eyes on you all the time. It's very hard to just secretly film, and as you know, I just don't like asking. So there's very little, in fact there's no charity shop footage at all. However, on the positive side, a little bit better on the pickups. I spent the grand total of £3. So yeah, got a couple of pickups this time. My plan now is to head to Margate. I think I'm going to probably put Broadstairs and Margate as one episode, and we're definitely going to drop some cash in Margate, I've decided. So hopefully we'll get there in time. Peace. Okay, so this is the first time that I've really gone shopping or loot hunting in Broadstairs, and I was actually surprised at the amount of charity shops there were. So there was a fair few charity shops in Broadstairs, which is kind of what I already said. You kind of have to work your way out of town to find them. There's about 5 on the big high street strip. So you saw footage of me going into cancer research, but you don't see any beyond that. And the reason is simply because the road that all the charity shops are on is really not very interesting. So I didn't want to film going into all of them. And then all the charity shops are really pokey. So there wasn't a lot of room to move around in them. I didn't feel comfortable filming in them. And so there was no footage. However, there's a couple of things I will say. There was a brilliantly designed Pilgrim's Hospice charity shop in Broadstairs, which in terms of stuff had some things which was quite exciting, had a really good range of movies, but they were in that sort of £1.50 bracket. It's a bit too much for what I want to spend for DVDs, but they also had some Blu-rays, but it was just so nice. Like, I feel like with a lot of charity shops, they're branded but in a really cheap way. So I'm thinking cancer research here. Yes, I get it, it's a charity shop, but you know, it's like Poundland Deluxe, isn't it? It's not particularly aesthetically pleasing, but that's fine. I'm all right with that. Or they're like this Pilgrim's Hospice charity shop, which is just designed like a boutique store. And it's so cool because it makes you feel like it makes you feel like they care about what they're doing, and it's a bit more, it's a bit more unique, and it's got that kind of design about it. And it was just a really cool shop. And that's where I actually made one of my pickups. So they had a really good selection of DVDs, which I would have loved to have filmed for you. And also quite a good selection of Blu-rays as well. It was a lot of titles, sort of mainstream titles, stuff that I wasn't really looking for, or things that I felt were a little bit overpriced for what they were. But I was able to pick up one Blu-ray. And that Blu-ray that I picked up was An American Werewolf in London, which I shamefully don't own. Now, this has got the exclusive HMV slipcover on it, which is quite nice, and it only cost me £1, which is really cool. There is a bit of, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bit of sticker damage here, discoloration from the sticker, and there's also, it's a bit scuffed on the back. But for £1, you can't go wrong. I was going to take this sticker off, but I think it's actually going to do more damage, so I'm just going to leave it on. And then the artwork on the front of the actual Blu-ray itself is the same artwork, which is quite cool. So I probably will keep this slip because it's nice and it's not too damaged. But if I ever decide to get rid of it, it's still, at least I've got the artwork. And the DVD's the Blu-ray rather is in really good nick. So that's cool. I thought that was a really good pickup for £1. It's a film I've been wanting to add to the collection for a while, and it was £1, as I said, like 3 or 4 times. So I spent £1 on that Blu-ray in the Pilgrim's Hospice shop. I moved further up the street and there was a Shelter charity shop, and they had a really good range of Blu-rays and DVDs as well. Some really nice sort of special edition DVDs. Nothing I wanted. Well, nothing I was willing to pay the money for to put into the collection anyway. They had some really good TV show collections and films on special edition DVD. And they had quite a few sealed ones as well, which was cool to see. They were quite knowledgeably priced. So if you were buying a sealed one, it doubled the price of the DVD, which I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't personally want to double the price for it. I do need to make one thing clear at this point. I feel like I've been sounding off about pricing of DVDs in charity shops. I'm not bemoaning them pricing things properly. I don't care if they look up the value of something and put the price on it. It gets my goat a little bit, all these resellers whinging about charity shops pricing things properly, because at the end of the day, they're making money for charity. And as much as I want to pick up a bargain, if they've done their research and they price things appropriately, then fair play to them, because it saves someone else making the money that should be going to that charity. So if you're a reseller and you're whinging about charity shop prices because it means that you're not able to profit from it, I've got no sympathy for you. But on that note, I'm also not willing to pay £1 for a DVD. So It swings and roundabouts. I did pick up a Blu-ray from this charity shop. It's because it's spoopy season. I've adopted that word this year. Last year I was a bit not feeling spoopy. I was going for spooky, but I'm here. It's spoopy season. It's October. I thought I needed to add this to the collection when I saw it. I was quite pleased. And that Blu-ray is The Craft. So this was £2. I don't mind paying £2 for this because this is something I've actually wanted to get on Blu-ray for a while. I know it's a really popular film with a lot of people, which is cool. This is a Blu-ray I've been wanting to get for a while, so that's great. I'm really pleased. Happy to pay £2 for it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a slight indentation up here where it's got a little bit dented in the past. I may switch the case out, but the case itself is not actually broken. Check the Blu-ray, because again, this was one that wasn't sellotaped up. So I was able to check the condition of the disc, and it's in really good condition. So I think that's an actual bargain for £2, to be honest. I know a lot of people really love this film. I like it. I can see, you know, there's times when I want to put it on, so I've now got the option to do that. So yeah, it's a good addition to the spooky collection. Apart from the lack of in-charity shop footage, I actually don't think Broadstairs was as much of a bust as I thought it was going to be. I was able to pick something up. Didn't cost me the world, and actually they're two really good Blu-rays that I want to add to the collection, so I'm really pleased with that. Although in the previous footage I said I was going to combine Margate and Broadstairs together, I'm not going to do it. Surprise, because actually there was enough footage to make a nice little short pickup video for this. So we're going to go to part 3, and that will be next time, where we explore Margate, and I do, as I suggested that I was going to, I do drop some cash and probably get one of the best bargains ever that I've ever come across in terms of Blu-ray DVD hunting in one of the charity shops in Margate. And I've got some footage, so the Margate video is promising to be quite good. Until next time, if you could do me the honour of hitting subscribe if you haven't already, or ringing the bell so you get your notifications, and preferably giving me a like would be lovely. If I could get 10 likes for this video, I'd be chuffed. Until then, I shall see you next time. Bye!